Hi and welcome, teacher, for today videos. My name is Hassan alshater, and today I'm gonna use some math function in PHP. Actually, I did some HTML buttons, and I take some data from the users, and I use it in the PHP file. And instead of just making like just call the function, I put a random number and just print it. It's gonna be so bad practice. So I just make a very small, seriously very small HTML file, and I'm gonna explain a little bit the HTML before going to the PHP file. So as you can see here, I just make a form that taking the method post because we have to post some data. Actually, I use the posts. I don't know why, but I could use get or post, but I just use post here. So as you can see here, as I say here, I use the method post, and I have some buttons here. These buttons I made them just to before the buttons. I have here an input that taking it's just taking the data. This place is gonna take the data, and these buttons is gonna make the actions. Actually, as you can see here, sine, cosine, tan, log 10, yeah, decimal. So I just make some small functions. Actually, I use like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14. I just use 14 of them. Actually, we have so much more than that. Actually, PHP math functions. Yeah, as you can see here, actually we have lots of mathematical functions. Actually, it's so hard to do all of these functions. So instead of that, I just use some of them and use them. And yes, here for the PHP, I instead of writing the PHP inside the HTML file, and it's gonna be so messy, and it's so hard to, if you want to change it in the future, like if you have to change something in the HTML, your HTML file is gonna be like a thousands of lines, which is not acceptable at all. You need something clean to work with it. So I just required the file, and actually, to do that, we have two kind of things. We have require and we have include. Require, if there is any problem in the PHP file is missing, not found it, any problem in it, the page will not reload anything. You will not see anything in the page. Only the only thing that you can see it is only error. The page will show you error. But if you use include, for example, as you can see here, we have HTML here, and we use here include instead of require. You can see the buttons, you will see the inputs fields, you will see the form, you will see everything, but it will throw an error in the page in the end of it because I have the PHP here under the buttons and these things. So it's gonna reload everything, and in the end of it is gonna throw like a message that there is an error in the line, blah blah blah, which is gonna make a problem actually, because sometimes you have some sensitive things you don't need anyone to see it, and if it is like throwing some errors in there, it's gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be harmful, like if someone catch something very sensitive in it. So some people, yani, it depends on the place that you are gonna use it, to be honest. So let's go to the math, to the PHP file. In the PHP file here, because I am using the method posts in the HTML, so I check if there is any data get posted from square root. I'm just taking the data, putting it on the output, and I am using the num1. I'm putting it inside the function. So this first one is checking the square roots. I'm taking the data. I'm checking here. I'm checking if the square root is get someone touch it. Someone get click in it. So if someone clicks square root, just take the data that get posted and put it in num1. And after that, I'm taking the num1, put it inside the function, and I am put it inside the output. And I am I am outputting the outputs actually. And actually I did that to the all of them, as you can see here, for the sine, for the arcsine, for the cosine, for the arccosine, tan, arctan, log, log10. So all of them actually they have the same thing. I'm just checking if the user just click on the button, take the data, put it in num1, and send it to the function, and put that the output of this function inside the output, and I am copying the output actually. And here I'm changing the data to the float. It's just to be sure, because in PHP we cannot just define the data here like integer or double or float. So maybe this function sometime returns 0 point, so it's gonna return some float, which is gonna sometime make some problem. So instead of that, I am making typecasting, which is gonna help the engine, to be honest, to be more sensitive. Like, okay, here I'm gonna use float, so it's gonna just change the output to float without making any problem. And in the end here, I just define an variable. I call it name, and I print in it, hello, my name is Hassan. And as you can see here, define function, I cannot change anything on it. Like if I try to say to it, like for example, reverse this string or do anything in it, I cannot change it. It's gonna throw an error to the system. And we have something actually, the define, it has an way to do it, which is firstly we have the name, after that we have the value, after that we have the case state, or the case sensitive, I am sorry, sensitive case, case sensitive case, save, case sensitive. Okay, I am bad with that. Okay, name, value, and sensitive case. Like, for example, here, the first define, the name of it, I just write name. So if I want to call the data inside here, I have to call it with the name with the same capitalization. If the n is capital, I have to write it in capital here, because the default of define is false. Case insensitive. I'm sorry. Yeah, Boolean case insensitive. So default is false. So that's mean it's sensitive. So when I write the name of the when I write that the data is name, so I have to write it as a name with a small n, small a, small m, small e. But when I write it as a true, it's no matter. As you can see here, I write NAME1 with the capital letters, and I echo it with the small letters. Actually here the engine say like undefined constant name, but when we go to the page, when we go to the calculator, you can see here it's printing the data. My name is Hassan again. So it's printing the data. So this is the only difference between false and true in define function, the constant data. And as you can see here, this is the simple calculator, is not even calculator, is like a way just to, oh nice. Okay, I'm just gonna fix this problem and coming back. Oh my god. Yeah, welcome again, teacher. Sorry for what happened like 1 minute before. Just a small problem in the CSS. So as you can see here, teacher, like let's give like sine of 0 is 0. The sine of 1, I think it's something like 1, yeah, around it. So it's just a simple way of doing. Uh, you can say like it's very simple way of using the math function, is like using it in calculator, advanced calculator actually, because the normal calculator is only adding and minusing and these kind of things, and we can change them to hexadecimal decimal. Where is the decimal? Octa. Yeah, hexadecimal. Yeah, I just do it. And the octa. Actually, all of them is working. I'm gonna send the video with a code, so you can check the video and the code. And yes, this is my video for today. I hope you like it, and um, I hope you will have a great day. Thank you for watching.